In the hi-fi audio player space, Sony is still one of the best brands to go for if you want to get started on your audiophile journey without burning your wallet. This is the Sony Walkman NW-A306 and the successor to the Walkman NW-A105 that was released 3 years ago. It might not look so different from the previous model, but Sony has made so many improvements and fixed some of the shortcomings of its predecessor. So here's my review and my thoughts. The Walkman NW-A306 features almost the same dimensions as its predecessors, though it is slightly thicker as Sony has fitted a larger battery. But this is by all means still a very pocket-friendly device and way sleeker than other audio players in the market. It is still built with an all-aluminum body with a nice ripple texture on the back and sides that improves the grip. The Walkman NW-A306 still has the same 3.6-inch HD resolution display from its predecessor, which I'm not a fan of, as it feels really cramped when I want to type on it and the touch sampling isn't great. Thankfully, there are physical playback buttons on the right that I can use to control music playback instead of using the touchscreen. At the bottom, you get a 3.5mm headphone jack, a lanyard attachment hole, a USB-C port, and a micro SD card slot. Unlike other audio players, Sony doesn't really like to share detailed hardware specifications. But if you need to know, the Walkman NW-A306 is now powered by a Qualcomm QCS2290 quad-core processor paired with 4GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. It is a better performing chip than the NXP SoC on the previous model and has better power efficiency. The device also doesn't heat up terribly like previously, but despite that, don't expect it to be a responsive device like a modern mid-range smartphone. One thing that the Walkman NW-A306 owns other entry-level audio players is that it runs on Android 12, which is a really big deal because you're going to get better app support in the long run and better performance optimizations. Though I'm still surprised that Sony is still including the full suite of Google apps instead of just preloading the essential ones. At least on the bright side, you get decent amount of usable internal storage that's more than sufficient for installing music streaming apps. In terms of sound quality and performance, the Walkman NW-A306 doesn't disappoint. It employs Sony's in-house S-Master HX digital amplifier and the same high-end components that's also available on the previous model. It supports the LDAC audio codec for higher quality wireless audio streaming, all thanks to Android 12. And finally, you can use the device as an external USB DAC, which you can't do back on the NW-A105. Best of all, you can still use the device when you're on the USB DAC mode, making this an extremely versatile device. I auditioned the Walkman NW-A306 with the Tangzhou Wuzetian planar REM and the Tozo Golden X1 wireless earbuds I recently reviewed, and I have to say that it really pushed these earphones to their greatest potential. I love the extremely precise and clear audio presentation on vocals and instruments, and bass is also on point and doesn't distort the details when even playing at high volumes. As usual, Sony has a suite of audio enhancement features that can make music sound dramatically better, and I'm glad that some of these features can be applied to Bluetooth audio, which is something that other hi-fi audio players don't offer. Battery life has been great on the Walkman NW-A306 with a 3300 mAh battery, though I most certainly can't get up to Sony's claim of 22 hours when streaming music on other apps. It managed to last me around 4 sessions of Apple Music lossless music streaming with about 2.5 hours per session on wired audio. The only bummer here is that it charges really slow at 10 watts, which will take around 2.5 hours to get it fully charged. Overall, the Sony Walkman NW-A306 is a great Android-based entry hi-fi audio player that has way better software experience than many similar class products. Sony has improved where the previous model fell short of, and I only wish they have put a larger display and faster processor to make it a perfect device. But otherwise, I recommend it. It retails at 1,599 ringgit, and here's a big shout out to Star Speaker Audio Library for loaning us the unit for review. They are a super cool audio shop, and you can check them out in the links below if you're interested in getting the Walkman NW-A306 or other audio gear. So yep, that concludes my review of the Sony Walkman NW-A306. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos coming right up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.